Welcome to This Week with Old Sarge. This week, talking about advice. Now, advice comes in two doggone flavors. You got your good advice, you got your bad advice. It's up to you to figure out which one you're getting. So, going way back when I first made patrol sergeant, got transferred to the Big Wash for the second time. Shout out to you guys. Got put on a squad with a staff sergeant who was close to retirement. Ooh, he was tired, worn out, got all kinds of medical issues, fed up with the doggone public in general. It wasn't doggone prejudice because he hated everybody equally. And he wasn't about to cotton up to me until he decided that maybe I was worth working with. So, about a month went by, kind of proved myself I wasn't there to change the doggone world, but wanted to help things out and make things better. He decided to give me a little advice. Man, been around the block a couple times, got the t-shirt, been there and done that. Certainly going to listen to any advice he has. And he says, when you get them phone calls, when you're at the station there on the book and the phone rings and you pick her up and give it the whole spiel there, and someone just starts yelling and screaming. And you get the feeling real quick, and it bears out later on when the yelling and screaming's continuing, that this person just had a bad day, but they don't have anybody else to yell and scream at. So the doggone thought process runs to, I'll call it doggone state police. They always answer the phone. I'll yell and scream and vent all over them. Now, that gets pretty old after a while, especially when it happens, after midnight and up to like 3:30 in the morning. You got your usuals calling doing that. It's being a little too hard to take. He said instead of freaking out and all that, he said just when they start yelling and screaming, he's just saying to the phone, if you don't settle down and tell me what's going on in a nice professional manner and so we can have a conversation, said I'm going to put the doggone phone receiver in the drawer. And they're still yelling and screaming, so he reaches down, pulls that drawer open, puts the old receiver in there, and shuts the old drawer back up. You can still hear that muffled yelling and screaming. Cussing a blue streak. And he goes back to doing what he needs to do. If they ever calm down, he'll pull that drawer back open. You ready to talk now? He says, don't stress yourself out about it. A lot of people just call up because they've had a shitful day and they want to just vent. All right. Take that advice. Says your next one is when you get a group of folks come in the lobby and you're sitting there on the book, they all come up to the window at the same time. They're all, in the same group, and they all start talking at once. You got one of them that starts at the beginning and goes chronologically, and then you got another guy talking at the same time that starts in the middle and works towards each end. And then you got a couple of helpers there in the back trying to, tell them, remember to say this, remember to say that. Used to be a doggone. You can't even tell what the hell's going on. So you got to take control of the situation. And he says that's where the doggone payphone came in the doggone lobby of the Big Wash. Had us a nice wooden enclosure there with a payphone and a little chair sitting in there. If you don't know what that payphone is, ask your folks. But anyway, he says you take the loudest one, one that's starting in the middle and going towards each end. You tell them be quiet. Go sit in that phone booth. I saw that in action, and it actually worked. Guy shut up, turned and looked at the phone booth, walked over there and sat down, shut up. And then Sarge was able to figure out what was going on and help them out, get them on their way. All right. Little technique there. I see that. That's pretty good. So later on in my career as an assistant station commander, I kind of wondered, kind of dialing this whole thing in, and seeing about how I could do this advice thing and how it'd be well received. And more importantly, remember, case in point, going through all that paperwork, solving all the problems of the doggone station as the assistant station commander, working like a freaking maniac, guzzling that coffee at my desk, coffee cup's empty. Got to refuel. Go marching out of my office, go steaming right down that hallway with my coffee cup, go to turn into the room where the coffee maker is to fill her back up, and there's 2 troops in there jaw jacking. One of them's blocking the doggone doorway. Can't get through. Ain't got a choice. You can stand that fella tall, right? Get on up in his face, yell and scream at him, call him everything but a human being. You could go that route. But there's a funnier route to go. Inconvenience them like they have inconvenienced you. I prefer that method. So I walk up there and tap that trooper blocking the doorway on the shoulder and kind of whisper a little bit to him. You got a phone call in the comm center. Boy, you ain't ever seen a trooper take off moving before. Conversation with that other trooper's over. He is booking it. Don't know what it is about getting a phone call to the station, make a trooper move like that, but it does work. They get the hell out of your way. Then you go over and get a pot of coffee. And the other trooper, he's standing there kind of, what the hell just happened? He's like, does he have a phone call, Sarge? Like, no. He's just blocking the doggone doorway like an idiot. Instead of calling him an idiot, told him he had a phone call and look at him go. Feel free to use that at any time. Got my refill, go back to work. Not a problem. Another situation that arises, station commander and myself are standing in the hallway on one side. I hate the people that stand on opposite sides of the hallway and people got to snake through. Stand on one side. Stand on one side of the hallway, having a conversation about how to solve all the problems on the doggone third planet from the sun. Making good progress at it too. And here comes Joe Troop comes wheeling through there. Now he gets interested in this conversation. He pulls up, whoop, drops anchor. Starts throwing in his 2 cents. It's like, whoa, what just happened? What are you doing? That's when you tell him. You owe me doggone 10 gorilla jumps for talking out of turn. It's that Major Payne thing. I love that movie. Now, Troop don't know what gorilla jumps are, but he knows what talking out of turn is. So he's, sorry. Yeah, get the hell out. Ain't your conversation. You wasn't invited into it. Beat it. That's how you keep people from butting in. Then you got the doggone occasion where a troop shows up for his first day of work, regular shift, after his time off, and he didn't get a haircut on his time off. Starting to look a little bit long, just a little bit, just barely. Enough so you can tell he ain't got his normal haircut working. And you sit there and you look at him, you say, you ain't going hippie on me, are you? It's like, what? You gonna get some of them crazy looking beads, wear them around your neck. Maybe, get some of them sparkly, colorful things, stick them in your hair. You ain't going hippie on me, are you? They're like, oh shit, I forgot to get a haircut. It's like, that can be corrected. They come back with a good haircut. Now, you do these things, you don't necessarily hurt people's feelings. Kind of give them a little bit of a chuckle. Especially when you've done it a few times and their squad mates can tell them kind of exactly what happened. That's just a nice way of getting you from blocking the doorway, or you should not be butting into someone else's conversation unless you's invited. And you doggone make sure you strike when you show up for duty. Better have them doggone sharp corners. Be looking good. Look good, do good, you'll be good. So, shout out section this week. Shout out to all my B troopers out there doing that JOB, doing things right the first time, every time without fail, holding true to the rope. Appreciate what you're doing, so thank you. Thank you very much. Military, we appreciate what you're doing out there. Standing that post, holding that line at home and overseas. Taking care of business. We appreciate what you're doing, so thank you. Thank you very much. So till next week, me and Christmas Pig, bye now.